Picture this. You're sitting in a completely silent room trying to study, or maybe write.
Right.
There's no traffic outside, no talking, just this pure, heavy silence. But instead of focusing, your brain just, suddenly enters panic mode.
Yeah, it's like that ticking wall clock in the corner suddenly sounds like an actual bomb waiting to go off.
Exactly. Complete quiet can actually feel really, well, suffocating.
It does. We always just assume silence equals peace,
Really?
right? But our nervous systems often interpret it as a direct threat.
And that paradox right there is our mission for today's deep dive. Looking through the stack of acoustic psychology articles and neuroscience papers we gathered, we are really exploring the science of sonic sanctuaries.
Yeah, basically how we use sound to curate our own mental state.
Right. And I was really struck reading through this research by a pretty sweet, simple observation about the internet. You can just pull up a channel like Calmora, stream some rain sounds, and instantly transform a tiny, cramped apartment bedroom into this, like, luxury cabin in the woods.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a bizarre psychological hack, honestly, just tricking your nervous system into feeling totally warm and safe by piping in a storm.
And the psychological relief is just immediate. But, if our brains are constantly seeking out a baseline of natural noise, it totally makes sense why that silent room feels so awkward and unnerving.
Yeah, because human ears didn't evolve inside, insulated drywall boxes. We evolved out in nature.
Right, like monitoring the rustle of leaves or a flowing river.
Exactly. So if you take that baseline away, the brain just goes on high alert. Evolutionarily, a sudden sound in a dead quiet forest meant a predator.
Oh, wow. So it's a survival mechanism.
Yeah, that's why in a silent room, your auditory system becomes hypersensitive. Yeah. A tiny floorboard creak or, well, that ticking clock you mentioned, it literally spikes your adrenaline.
So to fix that, we throw on what the research calls an acoustic blanket.
Which is such a great term for it.
It really is. We use tools like white noise to create a steady, unvarying hum of ocean waves or ambient music to set a mood without a distracting melody.
And that blanket actively hides disruptions. Mechanistically, you are basically raising the auditory floor.
Wait, raising the floor, how does that work?
Well, by introducing a continuous band of sound frequencies, a sudden spike in noise like a car horn outside just doesn't breach the threshold of your awareness. The disruption is swallowed by the background.
That makes so much sense. But wait, I have to push back a little here. I get why rain or ocean waves work. But if our brains are hardwired to feel safe with natural sounds, why does synthetic electronic ambient music work?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Shouldn't a digital synth sound totally alien to our evolutionary wiring?
You'd think so, but it's actually less about the source of the sound and more about the structural frequencies and the tempo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Say you are trying to boost your productivity for a creative task, like video editing or writing. Your brain thrives on repetitive, medium-tempo electronic beats.
Because it matches something biological.
Exactly. Those specific synthetic frequencies are literally designed to match the resting human heartbeat. It keeps your physical momentum going subconsciously.
Wow, so the synthetic rhythm mimics a biological rhythm, but I assume when the goal shifts from like high focus to just resting, the requirements have to change.
Oh, completely. For soothing sleep therapy, your subconscious actually craves organic, irregular frequencies.
So you definitely don't want a steady, predictable beat.
Not at all. You want the random crackling of a campfire or, the unpredictable patter of rain. You're intentionally removing the forward momentum.
Right, because those irregular organic frequencies prevent the brain from locking onto a pattern.
Exactly. We are feeding the brain the exact auditory diet it needs to perform a specific function, whether that's driving productivity or signaling the subconscious that it's safe to power down.
It really makes you realize we aren't just putting on background noise to pass the time. We're actively building personalized sonic sanctuaries just to function and protect ourselves from modern distractions.
Yeah, if sound design isn't just for movies anymore, we are basically learning how to score our own lives just to manage our daily mental health.
Which is incredible. But, it does leave me wondering, if we are constantly relying on these curated, perfect digital sounds to soothe our brains and focus, what happens to our ability to find peace in our own unedited natural environments?
That is the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, like if we train our brains to require a perfectly balanced looping rain track, will we eventually need an acoustic blanket just to walk through an actual quiet park? Will the imperfect world just become too raw to handle?
It's definitely something to think about.
It really is. Something for you to chew on the next time you put your headphones on to quiet that ticking clock.